Here we go now.
Here we go now. Here we go now. Here we go now. What is going on? Happy Friday, guys. This is live. This is live. And Angel's watching. She's watching both from Twitch and she's watching from YouTube. Thank you for double dipping. We appreciate you guys. Make sure you're following us on Twitch, twitch.tv/TheKempire. All right. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Let me know if you can hear me, see me. Let me know also where you're watching from. Don't forget, if you're watching on YouTube, to let us know how you would rate this week's episode, the season finale, season 7 finale of the Real Housewives of Miami. What did you guys think of the season finale? What did you think of the season overall? How would you guys rate the season overall? If you're watching on Twitch, be sure to let us know your individual rating there. If you're part of the replay crew, we haven't forgotten about you. We want to hear what you guys have to say as well. Let us know where you're watching from. Let us know how you'd rate the season, how you'd rate this week's episode, and your thoughts. And this is why I say it's so important not to be team anyone, because I feel like there's so much happening behind the scenes. And I do believe that Marysol is a master manipulator. But at the same time, I don't think that Adriana is innocent. And you notice that the argument between Adriana and Julia, there was more stuff happening behind the scenes that Julia reveals. Julia, I'm still not ever going to be team you, because you also decided to bring a beef from a story from 2023 to make your storyline this season. And Adriana confirmed what I've been saying about you this season, that you are a covert narcissist. She confirmed it. And I've been saying that all season. Haven't I been saying it? Come on. I've been saying it all season, that I'm seeing more and more. She's a narcissist. However, I do believe Adriana behind the scenes was like, you need to, telling her what to do. I believe that. I believe that 100%. I do. Anyone else? I believe that Adriana was probably telling Julia what to do and things like that. And she probably also, we know Adriana did not like the fact that Julia became close friends with Alexia and Marysol. And let's be honest, the connection between Julia, Marysol, and Alexia didn't feel natural. It seemed as if Julia just wanted to suck up to whatever next step she could have. That's what it feels like. It doesn't feel like it was 100% genuine friendship. Because please understand, if it was 100% genuine friendship, those two would have made it to the Godfathers in Marbella. They would have made it. They would have made it there for each other. They don't see Julia like that. They see Julia as an alliance, but Julia is a fool and has aligned herself with people that don't see her as a friend. I do believe, though, that Adriana was behind the scenes, motivating, pushing, and saying things to Julia. I do believe that. Come on. Thank you so much, Natasha. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. She says, thank you for keeping us on game a lot in the YouTube streets. Thank you. Because look, and I've said this before, I'm going to say it again, a lot of what we're seeing on this show about what they're arguing on the show is not exactly what they're arguing about. They're arguing about the show, and that's why they don't see it for each other. Adriana and Marysol do not see it for each other because they're both battling to be the queens of the show. Mind you, they're both friend doves of the show, but you see with production, they don't treat the friend doves like they're, friend doves of the show. They're included very much, but again, they want that check. They want the full-time housewives check. I don't know what the major difference would be in pay. I need to find that out. Like, how much are the friend does making versus the housewives? That's something. Savannah says Julia is a dummy for her puppet master. Yeah. And I think she just decided to have a different puppet master. I think that's what it is. I do believe that Adriana was telling her what to do in those early seasons, but they also had a friendship. I mean, you didn't mind it when Adriana was writing you a glowing review so that you could adopt those boys. And did you guys see how she tried to twist, Julia tried to twist Adriana not showing up for her charity opera event? Mind you, every time she's giving back, she's going to be the center of attention. I am so glad that she had another opera singer to sing over her. Julia was literally giving us Milli Vanilli. Mind you, this is Julia. All of us can do that. While the real opera singer, Julia's like, I do believe that Adriana was jealous that Julia was trying to run with some sort of narrative that she was going to do singing. I do believe there was some competition there and that Adriana didn't like it. But let's be honest, Adriana, you can't sing either. But she can create a day. Look, there are a lot of people in the business. Some of your faves. We're not going to name any of them. Name them. No, we're not going to name any of them that are not the best singers, but they got hit songs. They got hit songs. Work, work, work. What? Shut up. She's got, look, Adriana's got 2 hit songs. Miami, and one of her songs is the theme song for Real Housewives of Miami. And let's be honest, the dog song actually kind of was lit. And Alexia and Marysol will never see it for Adriana. They will never see it for her. That dog song was hitting. Yeah, was it silly? Yes, it was meant to be silly. However, put it on streaming. I mean, she's going to have to pay for the sample, though. Come on. Exactly, Miss Parker. Ain't it funny? There are plenty of people that got hits that can't sing. All right? Paris says, I love my dog was crazy. Cute, though. It was cute. I think it was meant to be cute. But she wanted to show you guys I can also play the piano. I can also play the piano. Don, 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 don. Don, 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 don. Okay, you know what I mean? Tanya says, I like the doggy song. I liked it too. But like I said, I'm going to keep it real with you. She can't sing. Like, that was some rough singing. Are we going to be honest? Are we going to play teams here? We're going to be honest here. We like Adriana. However, homegirl can't sing a lick. She could play the hell out of that piano, though. She was like, dun, 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 I love my dog, I love my dog. I love my dog, I love my dog, I love my dog. I love my dog, I love my dog, I love my dog. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, we're jumping all over the place. We are jumping all over the place. If you're just joining us, this is our live recap of the Real Housewives of Miami Season 7 finale. If you haven't already, be sure to like the video. It's an easy and free way of supporting not just my channel, but other channels as well. And don't forget to subscribe to the Kempire podcast. That's where you can also hear us and take us on the go. Make sure you subscribe today. And while you're there, don't forget to give us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. Club Kempire, I haven't forgotten about you. I'm going to give you something good, though. Give you a good exclusive this week. So become a Club Kempire subscriber. There's a free 3-day trial as well. Angela says, I like Adriana's little dog song. That's why I was sort of like looking at Alexia. She's like, who does that? Like, why would you do? I was like, come on. She was obviously being silly, y'all. And she wanted to show you guys I could play the piano, a classical piano. But we'll get to that. We'll get back to that. Virgilian says, Adriana sounded horrible and I didn't care for the dog song. Fine. Okay, Tanya says, don't start. Y'all gonna raise some funds for it? Add the doggy song to the soundboard. I love my dog, I love my dog, I love my dog. The only problem with that, y'all, is that's actually, she's sampling a classical song. So that's probably why we haven't seen the song go on streaming platforms. But come on, right? Savannah says the bros are the biggest haters. A lot of people are now speculating because Alexia went on social media, bidding farewell to the season. Shout out to our friends over at Bravo Snarkside. I just want to read. I have a lot of things I want to read to you guys today. Hold on. Because one of the things that Bravo Snarkside cited was what Alexia said for her goodbye message. So in her caption of this photo of from the party, Alexia says, "Miami, you've seen it all. My truth, my struggles, my heart. Tonight we close this chapter, and I just want to say thank you for every message, every hug, every ounce of love." So some people are speculating that Alexia is saying goodbye to the show. You may have also seen rumors about people being fired and da 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 da. I haven't heard any solid information in regards to that. So, and I'm sure I wouldn't be surprised because you remember, Marysol has been in PR for many, many years. And we've been talking about how Marysol has been behind the scenes putting things in blogs and things like that. So it wouldn't shock me that she's putting out there that some people are not coming back next season. Okay? Thank you so much, Angel. Angel says Kempire. Neon chartreuse, really complimentary glow in 4K. I love it. I love it. Mind you, this is me fresh off of Pilates. Yeah, you're going to get me sweaty right now, okay? Fresh off Pilates. I said, let me come on in here and do this. I got things to do today, too. Lord, it's been a busy week. Busy week. Have you ever had, because I've talked about going to the chiropractor and her doing the gua sha on different parts of my body, like my back. She did it on my hamstrings and my calves. OMG. I'm still recovering. That was from Wednesday. But it's okay. It's all right. It's going to work. It's going to help, right? PSM says, I smell PR stunt. I smell it too. And I did a video this morning saying that what they need to do with this cast is get rid of Marysol. I think Marysol is the Lisa Rinna of Real Housewives of Miami. I think she's toxic. And I think she likes to play up being funny and light and fun energy on the show. But I think she's behind the scenes doing all dirty stuff. And I actually think that Alexia has hope without Marysol being there. I don't think Alexia is doing all of that stuff behind the scenes like that. I don't. I really don't. I do also find it interesting. Damn, I haven't even gotten into the episode. I have a lot to say today. I do find it interesting because I don't know if you guys remember, Alexia and Marysol talked about Larsa. Remember when she broke up with Marcus and they were like, they felt like Larsa's breakup with Marcus was a PR stunt? How come that never came up this season? Do you guys remember that? I believe I talked about it. I think I even played the audio. I don't remember. There's so much stuff to talk about. But I just feel like, why didn't that ever come up? I feel like Larsa, even though she did an interview recently saying that, we're really friends, we hang out with each other, they come over. I feel like she's not going up against them because of an alliance to keep her on the show as well. And you notice it even more during the after show. Hey, Miss Bernice, where you been? Miss Bernice is in the chat, y'all. You notice it in the after show. Stephanie, I know we don't like Stephanie here and there. However, I have to give to Stephanie, she's nobody's puppet. Because even to Larsa, she's like, yeah, I feel like Marysol is a manipulator. And she said something in a Spanish phrase during the after show, and she's like, if you look up that phrase in the dictionary, you're gonna see Marysol's picture. I like the fact that Stephanie, despite her friendship with Larsa, she's not abiding to whatever alliance that is. But okay. Raquel says, I think she's very toxic too. I think Alexia will adapt just fine without her. I agree. I feel like Alexia would be fine without her. Okay. Oh, wait. Hold on. MH says on Watch What Happens Live, Adriana said her song is on streaming platforms. Wait, the new one? The other songs are definitely on there. Hold on. I'm going to look it up right now. Don't play with me. No, I just want to see. I can't play it for you guys because then, copyright strikes. As I'm doing that, be sure to like the video. Adriana de Mora. Let's see if her new song is up there. Faya's there. Let me see. Oh, it is on there, y'all. It is on there, and it's a picture of her dog. Look. Come on, focus. Look at that. It's on there, y'all. I don't want to play all of it, but I just want to see something. It's there. I love my dog. No. I think I can play like 1 second of it, y'all. 1 second. Thank you so much for letting me know about this. Adriana, marketing genius. It's a cute song. As I said before, Adriana is no singer, but she got little bops. She's got little bops. But that I love my dog. You know, after this live, I'm gonna be playing it. I love my dog. Okay? Can't sing a lick though. Adriana, I'm sorry, girl. I know you watch. Can't sing a lick. It's okay. It's all right. You still got little bops. You got little bops. I like the Fire song. I like the Feel the Rush song too. The theme song from Miami. Just saying. Anyway, if you love your dog, go get it. So Adriana's song, I Love My Dog, is available on all streaming platforms. You're welcome. Free advertisement. Okay. Smart for the season finale. I wasn't sure. I mean, I'm sure she paid for the sample. Good for her. Oh, Savannah says, I'm going to play it for my dog. You should. We all should. I don't have a dog, though. Can I borrow your dog? Natural Lux Diva. I just saw what you said in the comment section. Oh, Bernice, don't give her any ideas. She said, you know, Peter gonna love that song. Right? Peter, new theme song. Don't be surprised that she has some sort of collaboration with Peter next season. Okay. Sweet Cherry says, at least Adriana's making her coin. Oh, Tanya says, go get your dog and hug them. What? MH says, I can see people playing it for their birthday, dog's birthday. Let's go. Come on. I thought it was cute and cheeky. The way that they can never see it for Adriana, even though they've given Adriana credit before for her other songs, I don't know. I think maybe this season they just want to ice Adriana out. They really just want to get rid of her from the show. But I've said this before, none of you are the star of the show, not even you, Alexia. Everyone makes this show what it is, except Julia. She can go. And now I feel like Marysol needs to go. Right, Pageant Mommy? When we talk about hiring people, it's not just about your skill set and how many degrees you have or your past history. It's your personality. That's why people do in-person interviews, to kind of get your vibe and get your energy. If you have a stank attitude, you're not going to be great for the work environment. A lot of times these HR departments are not considering that, and they should. Can these people work together? When you're casting, can these people work together? I was annoyed. Okay. All right. Let me actually get to the episode, y'all. Okay, before I get to the episode, I have some more stuff to tell you guys. Okay? Please hold on. I got more stuff to tell you. Because, people be in my comment section, including Tamar. But we'll get to Tamar in a separate live. We won't talk about Tamar here. But I did do a video yesterday giving you an update on the trailer for the Braxton Season 2 and what comes out in this sneak peek. So if you missed that video, mods, if we can post a link in the Twitch and the YouTube chats, that would be fantastic so people can go back to it and watch it later. Because I will talk about this later on, probably, if I have time in the evening, go live. So stay tuned for that. But I did want to play for you, I wanted to read to you what Carol, remember Carol, Adriana's friend? So Carol, I met at BravoCon. When was that? 2 years ago now? Almost 2 years ago, I met her. So she was in my comment section. I think she might have deleted it. Thank God I screenshotted it, Carol. I know you watched too. Hey, Carol. Carol says this in my comment section in regards to my recap of what played out during the season, during the episode last week, because what I said, I didn't like the fact that Adriana was using her black friend to justify what she said. And remember, we kept on saying, like, why is she bringing up racism? Because I said to you, we're watching an edited show. There had to be something said behind the scenes about racism, or someone said something like, that's, people are not going to like that. And I wouldn't be surprised that Marysol wanted to come in and be Captain Save-A-Ho. I'm not calling anyone a hoe. It's a saying. Just in case Adriana sees this, she's going to think, who is he calling a hoe? I'm not calling you a hoe, okay? Marysol wanted to come in and make it seem like, oh, I'm helping you. I'm helping you. No, you weren't helping her. You were taking that information. Because, again, I don't believe that Adriana meant ratchet. She definitely said ratchet. I don't believe she meant ratchet, though, in the context. Because Adriana, of all people, can't call anybody ratchet. Because we know Adriana from season 1. Ratchet of them all. She's the most ratchet, okay? However, I don't believe in the context of how it was said that she meant ratchet. But we'll revisit that, okay? I didn't like the fact that how Adriana handled it. I'm going to get my one black friend and she's going to defend me. No, you're completely missing the point. You're completely missing the point. And in this week's episode, I was sort of like, wait, black girl to black girl? We didn't see that in last week's episode. Did you guys notice that in this week's version of when they flash back? When Adriana says, oh, when confronting Kiki, oh, black girl to black girl. Excuse? Black girl to black girl. You need to learn something from this, Adriana. So Carol was in my comment section. Yes, she was. Maybe I should bring it up to you guys so y'all don't think I'm just making this stuff up. Let me bring it up. Let me actually pull it up here so you guys can see that this was in my comment section. That's since been deleted. I don't know why I don't know if she's deleted. I just couldn't find it before this live. Hold on. Let me just bring this up. Miami's fire. Okay. So let me show this to you. I really wish all of y'all would leave me alone. Not y'all, the community. I'm talking about these housewives and the friends and leave me alone. I really want no involvement. I want to recap the show, talk about y'all, and act like y'all don't exist. And all of y'all, stop tagging them in my comment section. Stop tagging them. No tagging. Thank you. Exactly. I agree, Dr. Miss Honey says, with her accent, Ratchet can really sound like Ratchet. I really do believe she said Ratchet, though. But I don't think she meant Ratchet. I believe she definitely said Ratchet. I don't believe she meant Ratchet in that way. But anyway, so Carol Phillips was in my comment section, as you can see here, and she says, "Hi, Kempire. How are you?" Not how I'm trying to have a whole conversation in the comment section. How are you? I just wanted to clear up a few things. Maybe she meant this to be a DM, y'all. Well, she says this. I just wanted to clear up a few things. It's about my friendship with Adriana. We have been best friends close to 20 years. Carol also styles Adriana. All these confessional looks and reunion looks, this is Carol, okay? We have been best friends close to 20 years, way before Housewives. I also have been on the show a couple of times. She was on the season finale too. I saw her in the background. She said, I had a small part in season 5, episode 8. Not the Carol, not the episode, but I appreciate it. Carol says, also going back as far as her wedding. Oh, I got to go back and watch that episode. We speak almost every day, no filter. Adriana would never use me to legitimize herself, nor would I allow anyone to use me. I am a strong-minded person. I've met her. She is. She said, nor would I allow anyone to use me. I am a strong-minded person with my own thoughts and opinions. As you know, it's a TV show with a lot of edits. Exactly. I agree with that. Unfortunately, the whole conversation was not televised. I think the words wretched or ratchet describe behaviors that can be exhibited by either a black or white person or other. Can be exhibited by either a black or white person. It certainly does not describe me. By the way, I need to reimburse you for your cleaners. No, the shirt was ruined, Carol. I can no longer wear the shirt anymore. Anyway, I was bigger then, so I can't fit it anymore either. No. Yes. It's okay, Carol. I forgive you. I've let it go. You couldn't tell. I do this stuff to be funny. I know people think that I'm harping on certain things. No, I bring it up for comedic effect, yo. I could care less about the shirt. I've moved on. I went to Banana Republic and bought a bunch of stuff yesterday. Just saying. I've moved on, Carol. But thank you. I appreciate it. But so that was Adriana's friend and stylist Carol. Okay. Foxy says, good that she cleared it up. And again, I always remind you guys, we have to remember we're watching an edited show. And I feel like there's so much context, including where did the racism come up? And I think someone put it in, either production, Marysol, someone put it in Adriana's head, probably trying to make her fearful. Oh, they're going to cancel you. They're going to cancel you for saying ratchet. That's racist. Hence why she was worried about the edit. All right, so let's get to this episode, okay? So at the top of the episode, there's two events that are happening. Marysol's Christmas party and Alexia's beauty bar party. And apparently something got crisscrossed in regards to their schedules. I don't know if I believe that, but I feel as if that they wanted to make sure that the audience knew that there's no beef, that they're both having the party at the same time, Alexia and Marysol. Okay, girls, that friendship feels a little shaky to me. It feels a little shaky to me, Marysol and Alexia. But okay, fine. So at Marysol's party, so there's a lot of stuff that I need to talk about in regards to this. Marysol can throw a party, though. That's one thing I will give her. And no matter what, I think she said this in the after show, because I did watch the Miami after show. Adriana says that, Marysol, oh no, she said it in the episode. She says, Adriana reveals that Marysol gets a lot of the stuff at her parties gifted to her, and then she re-gifts it. I don't think it's a bad thing, Adriana. Why not? She worked in PR. She knows a lot of different people. If she could get free stuff, that's actually smarter. Instead of her spending her own money, a bunch of these brands want to give us free stuff, and I can give this to my friends. I love it, and it's actually good stuff. Guerdy, we must talk. Guerdy, look, we talked about Guerdy possibly having ADHD. And now I kind of look at Guerdy's behavior a little bit differently, because before it really made me not like her behavior and came across as rude. I don't know, Guerdy. I think you might need to go get checked out. Or you were just being rude in this moment. Because the way that Guerdy spoke to the lady that was doing the free charm bracelet and things, I was just like, Guerdy, you're being rude. Oh, I gotta move on to, there's a bunch of stuff here. I don't know if that was her way of trying to be funny, but it didn't land. Or you were just being rude. And even Larsa, because even Larsa, though, was sort of like, this is rude. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? I didn't like, at first I was sort of like, wait, am I being punked here? Like, what is Guerdy doing here? Why is she talking this way to this lady? Like, I really thought that Guerdy was going to go to this party and then go to Alexia's party too. So that's why she was rushing, but she wasn't. So I was just like, Guerdy, this is rude. This is rude. But like I said, I'm wondering if something else is going on with Guerdy, but I felt like it was rude. Based on what we saw, it gave rude. Even Larsa was like, that's rude. Like, you don't want the crown. And now you're getting picky? Now you're getting picky about what's on the charm bracelet that's being given to you for free? Dodity says that Guerdy was doing too much. Deborah says I was embarrassed for Guerdy. PSM says also not. Wait, no, you're talking to Foxy. Hold on. Blue Hoodie says that Guerdy was obnoxious. BEP Pen said, thank you for being a member, says Guerdy was rude at the party and Larsa was trying to help her out to tone that part down. I agree. Oh, BEP says, Pen says, as someone with ADHD, Guerdy does have it. Pageant Mommy says that it was distasteful. We had a whole conversation a couple of episode recaps ago when we were talking about grown adults getting diagnosed with ADHD. It was a really actually enlightening conversation. We're not here to diagnose Guerdy, but what came out from that recap was actually quite educational for us as a community. So shout out to those of you that shared your stories a couple of weeks ago here on the channel. If you missed it, it's actually worth. I did send it to Guerdy. I did, because my thing is, she said it in the after show that maybe she's like, she said in the after show, I think I might have that. So when you guys were sharing such good information, I was like, look, I'm just gonna slide this to you. She was like, do I have it? I said, just watch. Look, just watch. Because I felt like it was an educational episode. Okay, just saying. Love Nisha says, yeah, Guerdy turned me off. I was so surprised by that. But again, I don't know. Okay. Miss Bernice says, Guerdy was being hyper and rude. Larsa seriously should get those. Come on now. Because she's starting to look like a Cabbage Patch doll. Miss Mellenbach said, why would you do that? Because I was really, it came from a good place. It came from a good place. You look, sorry. Okay. All right. Focus. Let's focus. If you're just joining us, guys, we're talking about the Real Housewives of Miami. Let me actually get to the episode. So we're at Marysol's Christmas party. I actually think the Christmas party is lovely. They have pajamas. There's a that little toy machine where you can get little gifts. I don't know how good the gifts actually are, but they're, apparently they were good enough for people to be like, trying to get to all the different things. I don't know. Okay. But yeah, so there were pajamas, there were facials, there were games. Stephanie was just like, I asked Santa for friends and I got them this year. Gosh, there's something just so lame about Stephanie, but it's okay, girl. You're trying to do better. Maybe being on the show will make her a little bit more likable. Maybe. But okay. All right. What else happened in this scene? So Adriana's there as well. And as I said to you before, what Adriana had to say about Marysol regifting, I don't think there's a problem with her regifting. If she's able to get sponsors for her party, fantastic for all of you. You get to benefit. Okay? And it's not like she literally is getting stuff for like they're leftovers. No, she got them for the party. So I think we all should be like, thank you, Marysol. Appreciate it. So Adriana tells Guerdy that she feels used by Julia. So that is a foreshadowing of what we find out a little bit later on. So Adriana says that she feels used by Julia. She also brings up Kiki talking about her age on her birthday. So she's still harboring that. I get it. Everyone feels differently about their age and getting older. And I said this last week, I can see where Adriana could probably be draining as a friend if, people are trying to uplift you. And if you're always like that, you're always like a downer, like your life is not great, like I could see that being annoying. Just saying. Thank you so much for being a member and for the super chat. I think this is important. BEP Penn says, hold on, let me bring this up. ADHD has a lot to do in realizing our own self-awareness. So that's why I was sort of like, is this what's going on with Guerdy? Because in that moment with the lady doing the charm bracelet, and this is not me trying to make an excuse, it still came across very rude. But now with this whole realization of adult ADHD, and it's making me kind of go like, well, is this what people have been sensing about Guerdy since the beginning, and that's turned people off to Guerdy? Could be. Thank you so much for sharing, and thank you so much for the super chat, BEP Pen. We appreciate it. Guys, you can also support the channel just by liking today's video. If you're part of the replay crew, be sure to like the video as well. Okay. Foxy says, I liked both Marysol and Stephanie's parties. Yeah, they put on a good party. They definitely put on a good party. Let's talk about Alexia's beauty bar party. So Alexia says that she really has not been focused on the beauty bar, her and Frankie's beauty bar, because of everything that she's been dealing with. So she has her own party. Julia apparently arrived to that one. So Julia says that she's planning an event to benefit the opera and also to benefit the agency where she was able to adopt her sons. Okay. Peter is also there with his girlfriend. I don't know about y'all. I can't stand when Peter talks. He sounds like a burner. You know what I mean? He just like get it out. Like he's like, I just I don't like the fact that and I'm just like, okay, we don't need any more scenes with Peter. Please and no. Please and no. We do not need any more scenes with Peter. But this is where Peter talks about the situation with Todd. So Todd got, remember Todd went on social media and he didn't like what Peter had to say about him on the show. And I'm thinking, was it this scene? And maybe he heard something different. But I was just sort of like, Todd, I don't think Peter said anything incredibly bad, but he's probably like, you shouldn't say a bad word about me when I'm paying your rent at your big 30-something-year-old self. He's paying his rent. He's still taking care of Alexia. I don't know if that stopped, but yeah. So Peter talks about, he doesn't like the fact that he's finding out about stuff with his mom and Peter and Todd in page 6. And she's like, I didn't want you to, be hurt. I was trying to protect you, blah, blah, blah. She's always babying this grown boy. Always babying him. I feel like Frankie's more mature. Anyone else? Melly says that he sounds chronically high. Well, we'll go with that, Melly. I think you're being very generous by saying high as opposed to something else. Someone else said it in the chat, though. Foxy says, I hope Todd doesn't pay for him anymore. I think that's going to come to a point. Angel says that Peter's on track to grow up to be a Slade in life, living off a woman. His girlfriend's pretty, though. I don't know how anyway. V Special says same. He always sounds stoned. Lord. Keith says, if I'm paying your rent, I don't want you to even saying you don't like my shirt. I mean, yeah. Jonathan says, Peter doesn't seem all there. That's a good way of saying it. Yeah. All right. So Peter expresses how he feels about the situation. Alexia says that Todd hasn't apologized to the boys. Todd doesn't feel like he needs to apologize to the boys based off that video he did. Kiki explains what happened when Adriana accused her of calling her racist. And then they flash back to that scene, and a part of that conversation where Adriana says black girl to black girl. I was like, Adriana, what? I feel like Adriana went from no one really talking about her during the season, and it's like we want to see a little bit more of Adriana, to Adriana being the focus at the end of the season. If anything, based off of the episode, Adriana should have been sitting next to Andy Cohen, but I know that would go against the rules of Housewives. But we already break the rules when it comes to Miami. Adriana should have sat right next to Andy Cohen because she was the focus at the end of the season. If we're going to be, honest. And again, I feel like not in a favorable way. Not in a favorable way as well. And Adriana, what was going on with the back of your dress? Why am I seeing your underwear in the back of your dress? I wouldn't have never gotten up. I'd be like, y'all not going to see the back of my dress right now. I'd be like, can y'all pass this over? This little thing for Julia? I wouldn't have brought it to her. You're not going to see the back of my dress when it looks like that. But anyway. So Kiki explains that she just wanted to get it out of there because of Adriana bringing up the racism stuff. Okay. I don't understand. If you didn't say it, fine. Just address it in the moment. I still don't understand why Kiki decided to hightail it out of there. Oh, man, I forgot to get my water. Whoa. It's okay. I'll get my water in a second. You guys will have to bear with me. Okay. Stacy says, are Todd and Alexia still talking? We just never know. Based off of the season finale, they got divorced and they had started dating again and then they stopped dating. And based off him suing the network, I'm thinking that no, they're no longer together. But now I'm thinking maybe based off of her little goodbye message to the season, I'm like, maybe they're back together. And that if they're back together, I could see her not returning to Real Housewives of Miami. Because he alluded in that video that she chose the show over their marriage. Really? Oh, Pageant Mommy says, I guess her stylist missed the mark. You hear that, Carol? Come, Carol. I guess she missed the mark. I mean, for the most part, she didn't during the season. I didn't love Adriana's look for her concert either. I was like, it was definitely giving Ice Princess. It was definitely giving Ice Skater. Just saying. Exactly, Angel. There will be a commercial break soon. Okay? All right. Pageant Mommy says Alexia still wants the money and the peen. Really? Fine. All right, so let's get to Julia's opera event. There were so many events in the season finale of the Real Housewives of Miami. I was just like, damn. And I could have did without this event. And I said this to you before, based off of all the behavior that I witnessed over the years since the reboot with Julia and this season alone, Julia is a narcissist. I know people love to throw that word around, but no, I really believe that she's a narcissist. And I believe her narcissism is part of the reason of the issues with her daughters. Sorry, but not sorry. And I said this before, when Martina was going through her cancer, oh, we're going to do something to celebrate Martina, and I'm going to sing. Really? And now we're going to do something for the boys and the agency, but I'm going to sing. So she ends up singing at this event, and I'm so glad that someone else was singing, and she was just lipping. No, she was adding like the ooh, while the lady was actually doing the brunt of the work. Okay? Just saying. So Julia, when she sees Alexia, and one of the things that I noticed when she sees Alexia and Marysol, she's like, "Oh my god!" She's such a thirsty one. Okay. So the ladies say that Martina looks so much more vibrant because of, I'm guessing, because of adopting the boy. She looks more vibrant. Martina still looks hateful. Do y'all think Martina looks more vibrant than she did before? Maybe they're seeing something we're not seeing. She still looks hateful. Destiny says, I skipped past it. Yeah, you didn't miss much. It wasn't a long scene, her opera event. Okay. Kiki says, I think I have a crush on Martina. And then Martina, when they flash to Martina, because they were like waving to each other, Martina's just like, Kiki's always flirting with me. Kiki is not interested in Martina, okay? Kiki wants more camera time, let's be honest, okay? She just wants more camera time. Kiki then says that she thinks that Adriana should have shown up for Julia because Adriana was not there for this event. And Julia is like, well, she's in rehearsals, and then they flash to her rehearsing with her 12-person band, okay? Savannah says, yeah, I fast-forwarded it. My ears were ringing. Damn. I don't know why. You guys should have listened to it because the actual opera singer, she was actually really good. Julia wasn't really singing. She was sort of like doing the low notes. She was harmonizing. She was like, ooh, 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 while the lady was doing the actual work. So that's why it sounded halfway decent. Alexia and Marysol are like holding each other because they're so moved by this performance. Aww. They're so moved by this performance. Okay. Exactly, Angel. Angel says Kiki would be gay for pay. Julia allegedly. Julia allegedly is a mess. I can't with y'all in the chat. Guys, we're almost at 200 likes. If you haven't already, be sure to like the video. It's easy. It's free. We're talking about the Real Housewives of Miami. Don't forget, you can also hear the audio of our live recaps and special episodes on the Kempire podcast. All right? Savannah says, just watching her made me cringe. Oh, Lord. Anyway. So Kiki thinks that Adriana should have shown up for Julia. All right. So Julia then, Julia downplayed it at first, but then when people were saying like, oh, you should feel away, that's when she was like, it makes me wonder, she wasn't there for me. And, because this was a situation for the adoption agency, she tried to insinuate that Adriana wasn't there for her and also not there for the boys. Do you see, this is behavior of a narcissist. How do we get to the point where now Adriana wasn't there for you and now she's not supporting the boys? It's important to note, it wasn't mentioned during the season, but it was mentioned in the after show that Adriana helped Julia when it came to this adoption, writing letters. And when it comes to the whole process of, verifying and giving credibility to Martina and to Julia for the adoption. She was a part of that process. So for you to say that really is like a kick in the face. because she really did show up for you when it comes to those boys. And remember, we talked about this when she was asking her friend in Spain to be the godfather, and Adriana was never asked to be the godmother. So she brings that up, like, oh, her not showing up, it's a slight to me and even the boys. How do we get to the boys? I was like, if anything, when it mattered, Adriana showed up for you and those boys. Okay? You should be more never mind. Things you should be concerned about, you're not concerned about. But okay. So Adriana was practicing for the Shoma Christmas party. Julia says that Adriana is not showing up, makes it clear where they stand and what she thinks of the boys. Then we get into Julia's performance. We already went through that. I won't put you through it any longer. Okay. Savannah says, you noticed Julia was using her boys against Adriana. Exactly. Kay says, I didn't like that Julia bringing the boys into it. It was a stretch and felt like something she added deliberately. Yeah, like because she wanted the audience to turn on Adriana. Like, oh, how could you do that to the boys? Again, behavior of a narcissist. And I don't throw that word on a lot of these reality TV stars easily, but we've seen time after time narcissistic behavior from Julia. Exactly, Kel. Kel says she showed up for Julia off camera when it mattered, but Julia is being fake on the show. And look, as I said to you before, in these last couple of episodes, I'm not an Adriana fan with how she handled this situation with Kiki, but this is where we have to pick apart some of the things where one person's right and one person's wrong. Oh, damn. Moni says, somebody on Twitter said that she adopted the kids as a PR stunt. I hope not. For the sake of those boys. I hope not. BEP Pen, thank you so much for the super chat and for being a member. They say that was the low that Kiki brought Adriana not going to Julia's event in front of the bros like a flex. Remember we talked about that with Kiki last week when they flashed back to the scene where Kiki was telling the bros about what she did on the cake. And I said, dude, pay attention. Some of these friend doves are sucking up to the bros, even though Marisol's a bro, but she's an OG, whatever. They're bringing these things up to them as a way to secure their spot and their position. They're trying to align themselves with the bros. I don't know why, guys. I keep telling you, the bros do not make the show. They are not the queens of the show. They are not even though, some people say Teresa's the queen of Real Housewives of New Jersey, and without her, there is no Jersey. They're not even close to that. I could see possibly that with Teresa, but Marisol and Alexia, you guys are you guys are replaceable. You're replaceable. Please understand. But I feel like everyone as a group makes the show. But if you guys were to go, we would be strong. Just saying, we've gotten all the drama that we need from you, Alexia. We're good. And I never forget the fact that Alexia, Marisol's own friend, was the one to spill the tea that she married Steve in order to get a full-time position on the show. And that didn't work. So I don't know. Hold on. Let me finish what you said here. Why didn't she bring it up when it was just Kiki and Adriana? Because I think we're starting to see through Kiki's mask as well. Just saying. Okay. Let me move on from the event because a lot of you fast forward to Julia's event anyway. So event after event in this season finale. Now we're at the Shoma Christmas party. Looked like a really great party. A lot of people were there, but Masood wasn't there. Did anyone find that interesting? Masood hasn't really been there most of the season. Like he's had little scenes and a FaceTime with Stephanie, but he really wasn't on the season that much. But to not be at the big event, I thought was weird. Y'all think that was a little strange? Especially because it's a Shoma event. He had a business dinner. I don't believe that. I don't believe it. I really do believe that something that's interesting that he wasn't there. But okay. So Kiki brings her dad to the event, okay? Since the drink is, they're creating this whole drink for charity, which I think was fantastic. Seeing that moment was really beautiful as well. Carmen Carrera. Remember we got to see Carmen? You might remember her from RuPaul's Drag Race and a few other things since then. I know that she wasn't a friend of the show, but I thought we would see her more than twice. So she makes an appearance at the final party with her boyfriend. I thought that was interesting. I was like, damn, she got less scenes than Mealy from Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. But all right, fine. Kiki and Adriana. So Kiki pulls Adriana to the side because she wants to have a conversation with Adriana before she performs. I wouldn't be surprised if production told them to have this conversation. Kiki apologizes to Adriana for the cake stuff, and she says she didn't expect the ratchet and wretched to come up, and she never said that what she did was racist. So that's the reason why she ended up leaving the party early. But she does apologize to Adriana for what she did. Okay, and Adriana was relieved. She was just like, "Oh, thank you for that." She does take a little bit of a dig. She's like, "You are a beautiful woman for your age, in your age group." Huh? Okay. But all right. It did feel like a little bit of a dig because you could just say you're a beautiful woman, period. But okay. Fine. I already told you, based on what we've seen of Carmen, I was just sort of like, it's not a lot going on there. Angel says maybe Carmen was uncomfortable because most events ended in a screaming match. I mean, has she watched Housewives? Has she watched Housewives? Okay. All right. Moving on. Let's move on. All right. So Kiki and Adriana have that conversation. All right. And then 30 minutes later, Marysol and Kiki say to Julia, that Julia was upset. They pull Adriana to the side and they say to Adriana about not showing up to the event. So Adriana gets upset. She was like, she didn't tell me about it until like the night before, and she didn't tell me that she was singing. And I'm like, And here's the thing. I do believe Adriana doesn't like the fact that Julia is singing. I do feel as if that she felt insecure about it. Like there was a little bit of competition between Julia and Adriana. I don't think there's room for everyone. Her singing opera is not the same as you singing these club hits. Songs that have been the theme song for the show. I don't think it's the same thing, but I do see Adriana feeling like there's some sort of competition. Okay? So, all right. So, but Marysol and Kiki decide to have a conversation with Adriana before her performance about it, and Adriana gets really upset and she storms away. She says that Julia didn't tell her that she was singing, and she invited her to the event the night before. Marysol and Kiki tell Julia about their conversation with Adriana and how upset she was. Julia says that she texts Adriana the next day and just like, I hope your rehearsals went well, and I really wish you could have been at the event, because of the boys. She says that Adriana never responded. Pachamami says, neither can sing, so I mean, okay. Maritza says they both can't sing. Agreed. I don't think any of us disagree with that. However, I will say Adriana's recorded version of her songs are good, including her new one. Did y'all hear it? I'm going to play a clip again. Just a small clip. Please hold. Maybe I could put that part in the soundboard because I can't play the entire song. I love my dog. I mean, she can play the piano. Adriana is many things. She can't sing, though. But, when you go in the studio, they put a little auto-tune on your voice. Anybody can sing. Okay? But okay. All right. Moving on. So Julia says that she texted her. She never received a response from Adriana. She says that she swept a lot under the rug, so much so it was like a mountain under the rug. Okay. And she basically alluded that Adriana behind the scenes were making her feel less than. She was telling her what to do and how to be. I actually believe Julia. However, she went from one master to another one. I don't believe that the bros really value her as a friend. And they were more than, because they felt like they specifically wanted Julia on their side so that they could get Adriana off the show. They did. During the after show, Guerdy and Adriana go back to season 4, and they talk about the party that Guerdy planned for Julia. And she was like, look at how she seated us. The person that designed the party, she sat us all the way at the end. She sat her best friend all the way at the end, and the bros were sitting next to her. So this was like a plot and a plan. Adriana feels as if this was her way of trying to get in there. One thing I will say about Adriana, y'all, you might not like her, and you might not like what she has to say, but somehow she's always vindicated. You know what I mean? She's always vindicated. The truth always seems to come back around the next season, and you're like, because there have been multiple examples this season alone with the whole Todd of it all. She always seems to come back and she's vindicated. You might not like everything about Adriana, but when she puts out information, we're like, And now every time she puts out information, I'm like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Okay. Elijah says that song is here on YouTube. The I Love My Dog song, it should be. If she put it on all streaming platforms. I was playing it from Apple Music. Right? I Am Speaking 66 says, I agree. Adriana should have sat next to Andy. They would never do that, but based off of how the season ended, she should have. Butterfly Gal says, I 100% believe Julia about Adriana's friendship. Yeah. Pageant Mommy says the truth is closer to Adriana's than others. Expat Lifestyle says, on Watch What Happens Live, Adriana said that she had the band booked for the rehearsals. The band, it was not possible to cancel because they were Emilio Estevez's people. I believe that. I believe that, she couldn't make it to Julia's event. I could see that. I can definitely see that. But I do feel as if Adriana was in her feelings about Julia doing music. But remember, last season, Adriana supported Julia doing the music. Remember? Because she played the piano for her and helped plan Martina's event, celebration. So, I Am Speaking says, I'm refusing to discuss Julia. Shar says, true. Adriana is my favorite. Don't like some things. She does, though. And I think that's okay. This is why we are Team No One over here. For those that are just joining us, we're talking about the Real Housewives of Miami. We're Team No One over here. Because all of them have their ways. Guerdy has her ways. Marysol has her ways. Alexia has her ways. Lisa has her ways. Larsa has her ways. Julia is probably the worst of them all. Her and Marysol. The word. Honestly, if you were to get rid of anyone, and I'm not believing any of the casting rumors that are online. I'm not believing any of those casting rumors. But Marisol and Julia would be my first to go. Who do you think needs to go? Stephanie has her ways. Like, I'm not team anyone, but I feel like they're all good for the show. Who came to one of my live shows? Because I talked about a possible new cast member. So if you watched the after show, they mentioned a few people, but they mentioned one person that I told you might be coming to Real Housewives of Miami. Might be. So, yeah. I love my dog. 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 She said the reason why she did the song about her dog, because very much like a lot of people, their pets, her dog was there for her when during the pandemic, her divorce. Pageant Mommy, did I mention it at the New York City show? I know I mentioned it at the DC show. Do you remember if I mentioned it? See, this is why it's important. Shout out to those of you that got the video. Oh, Gossip Boss says you did. You did. Hold on. Do I have that on here? I do. Hold on. I have that here. Yep.
Who said that?
When did she say that? You did.
Quill says Kiki needs to go. Immediately? Before the people I just mentioned? Yeah. If Marysol goes, that's the only reason why Dr. Nicole will come back. Dr. Nicole is not going to come back because of Marysol. And I don't blame her. Shar says Julia swap with Adriana and Stephanie swap with Dr. Nicole. But here's the thing. I don't need Adriana to be full-time. There's nothing going on in Adriana's life like that where it's going to be interesting for her to be full-time. Again, Miami is different than some of the other shows where the friend does are like full-time cast members. And I still don't believe that relationship with her and the French guy. She talked about the French guy on the after show. And she says that he got stuck in France because of a visa situation. I was like, And of course, Alexia and Marisol, they believe that he's a fake relationship. We said it too. We didn't feel like that was a real relationship either. It didn't feel like a real relationship. Okay, him and his cross-eyed. Kay says, love Kempire's rendition of Love My Dog. I would stream that. I love my dog. I love my dog. I love my dog. Let me get in the studio and drop some beats. Bernice says, I'll discuss Julia. She has been revealed as salty, jealous, and much meaner than I thought. She should stay, though. Really, Veronique? Why do you think she should stay? Explain. Look, again, our community don't always agree with me. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Oh, I got my vaccination, y'all. Look, I got to move my arm. I'm starting to feel it. You move your arm. They say when you move your arm, it helps. Okay? Oh, hey, Tanya. Tanya says, Kemp, what happened with the Tamar thing, boo? I'm going to do a separate live, I think, this evening to talk about it. So make sure you guys are subscribed. Because I did do a video talking about Tamar yesterday. But make sure you're locked in. Okay? I don't want to mix the different topics here. And if you missed it, guys, we have a recap, Real Housewives of Orange County earlier today. Be sure to check that out. Another 30-something minute recap. It was good, though. I feel like we got into a whole sidebar. And earlier this week, we recapped the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City as well. So be sure to subscribe and go check that out. You can also hear it on the Kempire podcast. Yeah, Cookie says that Kiki has become a kiss ass. Yeah. And I had high hopes for Kiki, but I've seen some things that I'm like, Kiki. Excuse me, y'all. All right. So speaking, I love my dog. I love my dog. I love my dog. All right, so Adriana spills the tea in regards to what Julia spills the tea what Adriana has been doing behind the scenes to her since the season started, since the show got rebooted. And I believe her. I do believe Julia when she says this about Adriana, because I've seen this happen behind the scenes before on other housewives shows. I've seen it happen before. So I'm not surprised, and I tell you all the time that a lot of what we're seeing them argue about is not even about what they're saying it is on the show. They're actually arguing about their position on the show or something related to the show. Okay? All right. Let's see. So Adriana has her performance. Adriana was definitely given diva behind the scenes. But as someone that has put on a live show this summer, there's a lot that goes into putting a live show together. But here's the difference between her live show and my live show. She's singing. So there's another element of nervousness and making sure everything is perfect before getting out there. And also making sure that the setup is perfect. She didn't want everyone too close to the piano or in the way or with the lights on. She has a vision for the way she wants her show to be. So I kind of got where she was coming from. Mind you, she wasn't even that late. Like 15 minutes. Stephanie's just like, I got other things to do. Like sometimes an artist has got to get it together before they can come out. So she eventually comes out and she performs her, because mind you, when she starts performing her old hits, Marysol is like, I thought she was going to perform something. They do not like Adriana. Okay? They do not like Adriana. And I did not expect Adriana to perform anything new. I expected her to perform Fire and Feel the Rush. That's what I expected her to perform at this Christmas party. Okay? But she did perform a new song. And it's available on streaming right now. Okay, all the auto-tune and everything, okay? So she comes out, she performs, and look, I'm a straight shooter. The singing was bad. I think she should have lip sync. She should have lip sync because that was bad. I was just like, But when she got behind the piano and started playing, I was like, okay. If anything, that I Love My Dog was really good. It was in tune. Did she have backup singers? Yeah, it was on point. Okay. Okay. So she performs her songs, but the ladies are having a good time, having a good time with the songs, okay? You guys like my little boo-boo in the back? Yeah. My what, Zamomo? Yeah, it's my Zamomo. Don't be a hater to my little boo-boos. I even got a small one. Hold on. Let me pull up my small one. Hold on. I got a couple small ones, y'all. Oh, my little boo-boo, my little boo. Hello. Hi, I'm taking over Kempire's broadcast. I am a little boo-boo. Hello, little boo-boo. I love my little boo-boo. I love my little boo-boo, my little boo-boo. I know how to sing opera too. Opera. I'm taking over the broadcast. That was your commercial break. No, I need to really go get my water bottle. I'll do that in a second. All right. As I'm doing that, be sure to like the video. It's easy and it's free. Matter of fact, let me go grab my water before we get into everything else afterwards, okay? Because even when she's performing, when Adriana's performing, Marysol is just like, I thought she was going to sing something new. Alexia's like, why is she singing about her dog? It was cute. It was funny. Okay. All right. So they were just hating to hate. Let's be honest. All right. So Adriana and Julia end up having a conversation. So we'll get to that in just a second. As I'm doing this, I'm going to remind you guys, I'm going to play my butter ad and I'll be right back. However, I do want you guys to know now we don't have the discount right now. So don't go to that link. Go to my TikTok shop. Mods, if we can link everyone to my TikTok so you can find your butter products. But we are working with butter to bring exclusively here our YouTube discount code. So stay tuned for that. Okay. So let me play this ad and I'll be right back. BRB. So I shared with you my morning skincare routine. Now I'm sharing my nighttime skincare routine, brought to you by our friends over at Butter. Over the last several weeks, we've partnered with Butter and I've been utilizing their skincare routine and I have been loving it. So let me share with you my nighttime skincare routine. It's very simple and it's made even simpler by our friends over at Butter. First, I start off with their cleanser. Wash your face with their cleanser. Then I use their silky soft towel, which I love. I love. They're disposable. They are quality. You shouldn't be using the same towel that you use to dry your body on your face. And then I'm using their retinol. People don't understand the benefits of retinol. Smaller pores, youthful skin. A lot of people don't even utilize this. You should. All you need next is their Cocoa Shea moisturizer. As I've said before, they've made my routine a lot simpler because I've had to use a different morning moisturizer versus what I use at night. With their Cocoa Shea moisturizer, I can utilize it for my morning and my evening. I just put a little bit less on in the morning. At night, I put a little bit more. And that's it for my nighttime routine. One of the other big questions that people have asked me, is there a scent in the moisturizer? Very light scent. The other question people have asked me, is Butter Black owned? Not only is it Black owned, their president is a Black woman. But of course, you also ask, can we get a discount? Of course, get 10% off when you use my link, butterskin.com/Kempire. More information on Butter will be available in the description. Thanks, Butter. Again, don't go to that link. Go to my TikTok, tiktok.com/@TheKempire on TikTok. Check out my TikTok shop. You can get Get your butter products there. Shout out to those of you that were here with us last Friday for our online shopping event with Butter. And you guys got all kinds of deals. We're going to do it with them again. So stay tuned. That will be closer to the holiday season. So that was really, really fun. So support Black businesses. Again, head on over to my TikTok shop and get your products today. Okay? All right. Let me see what you guys are saying in the chat. Guys, we're almost at 250 likes. If you're a member of the channel, let me just drop the call link for you guys before I get into the rest of the Real Housewives of Miami recap. If you haven't already, keep liking the video. Once we get to, let's get to 300 likes. Let's get to 300 likes and I will drop the call and link for the general audience as well. If you're part of the replay crew, we appreciate you guys as well. Be sure to let us know your thoughts and opinions on the Real Housewives of Miami season finale. There we go. All right, let me drop this for our members on the post tab. Let's do that here, members. All right, and I'm going to drop it for our Twitch members as well. Okay, Twitch members, I'm going to drop it for you exclusively. Thank you for watching on Twitch. I see you. Shout out to those of you watching on Facebook. I see you guys as well. But Butterfly Gal, we were saying the Butter link doesn't work. You have to buy it from our TikTok shop. So if you follow me on TikTok, head on over there. I am going to get a discount code for YouTube. We haven't gotten it yet, so stay tuned for that. Hey, Lee. All right. So if you're watching us on Twitch, I've posted the link there for you guys as well. All right. So let's get back into the Real Housewives of Miami season finale recap. So Adriana and Julia have a conversation. Julia feels like Adriana is punishing her for becoming close with the bros. I can see it. I can see it. Yeah, hold on. Why didn't it work in the? I don't know, man. Unless YouTube is blocking it. Yeah, so just go to TikTok and then put TheKempire in. My profile will come up and follow me there. And anyone that's posting my videos, report them on TikTok. Report them. Why? Hold on. Let me pull this because y'all saying y'all can't find me on TikTok. Hold on. Please hold. Please hold. Please hold while I do this. Because I just posted it up. Let's see if it works when I post it in the chat. Please hold. Let me see. Let's see. Does this link work for you guys? Let me see. Let's see. Huh. You know what it is? It must be YouTube blocking it because it's TikTok. Damn, they're haters. But it's okay. TikTok's about to be done anyway. So guys, do me a favor. Just copy and paste that link to your browser. Don't just click it. Okay? So just copy and paste it to your browser and it will work that way. Okay? All right. Anyway, so let's get back to this. Let's get back to and I'll post it in the description. Matter of fact, let me put it in the description of this video now. So that way I don't forget. Let me put it here at the top. TikTok shop. Okay. So again, copy and paste the link, guys, so that you're able to get to it because YouTube is probably blocking it. Okay. All right, so back to this. All right. What are you guys saying in the chat? All right, let me get to this, y'all. Y'all, this is why I like doing pre-recorded because then I get distracted by all the things that you guys are saying in the comments. So let me focus on this. So Adriana and Julia have a conversation. They talk, and Julia says that she feels like Adriana is punishing her for becoming close with Alexia and Marysol. Adriana says that Julia is trying to compete with her. What do you guys think? Do you think that Julia is trying to compete with Adriana? I don't know if I believe that, to be honest with you. I don't know if I believe 100% that Julia is trying to compete with Adriana. Maybe in Adriana's head, she thinks that, but I don't think that. Okay. Adriana says that that Julia is toxic and the mask is off. I will agree with that. And I will agree with Adriana. I don't remember if she said it in the after show or in this episode, but she definitely referred to Julia as a narcissist. I think she is. Adriana believes that Julia used her to get into the group. I believe that too, especially how she moved. But then Adriana spills some tea. She's like, oh, and I don't know if she said in the confessional or she said in the after show. I can't remember because I watched both. She basically says that, oh, this is why Julia was engaged 9 times. She waited. She waited until she got the right one, meaning Martina. She got the champion. You know what I mean? And then I kind of was like, again, I always pay attention now to what Adriana says because then later on it seems to be true. And we see how Julia treats Martina, and somehow Martina always just lets it slide. And we're like, So she says that she was engaged 9 times until she found her champion, Martina. And she married Martina. So I don't know the other men that she was engaged to and how much money they had, and I don't know what's Martina's. Look, online the net worth is never really accurate, but at least gives you an idea if they have money. Let me just see. What is her net worth? Martina's. What is her net worth? Celebrity net worth is never usually accurate. Well, they're saying she's like 25 million. So she's definitely a multi-millionaire. Savannah says that she married for money. I mean, I'm not judging her for marrying for money because there are a lot of people on these housewife shows that marry for money. I Am Speaking says always vindicated. So I pay attention to what Adriana says because usually she is pretty much vindicated. And then she says, I got you out of that ishy apartment. And I'm like, wait a minute, what? So they've known each other a long time, Julia and Adriana. So now I'm wondering, like, wait, I need more tea on who was Julia before meeting Martina. Like, what was that? How did they meet? I'm trying to remember. Like, how did they come together? And how long have Adriana and Julia known each other? Like, don't you want more clarification of what do you mean that ishy apartment that she was in? Is this before she was with Martina? I don't know. Like, what? What about this apartment? Was she struggling? And did she come on this show hoping to have like security on her own if she wants to up and hightail it and leave Martina? I wouldn't be shocked if Julia left Martina because she doesn't treat Martina like someone she really values. Again, Martina's going through cancer treatments and you're somewhere getting a facelift. Like, there's so many signs and symptoms, and Martina's okay with it. Martina probably knows what it is. There are accusations of Julia flirting with men, black men. Look, Larsa said it herself. So it makes me wonder, I'm like, are you really invested in this relationship with Martina, or is this another thing for you? Because remember, her farm, that's all paid for Martina. She'd probably really make it. Don't sit here and act as if. Don't sit here and act as if Julia was some top model. She was not. Okay. So she wasn't making any kind of money like that. So it makes me wonder, like, because remember, Martina was the one paying for the farm and all this stuff. Dainty Bella says, I hate Julia, but I gotta respect the hustle. Damn. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Elijah says Martina is probably comfortable with it because no one's gonna no one's gonna put up with that crowd. Elijah, we've got a stomach hurt with that one. Okay. All right. But yeah. All right. So they go back and forth. And again, I feel like whatever Adriana said about Julia is going to come around the corner next season, but I don't want to see Julia next season. I haven't forgotten about how this season started. Moni says gay for pay, perhaps. It's giving that. Look, it's giving that, but okay. So that's where Adriana says that, Julia got engaged 9 times until she got her champion player. Julia says that behind closed doors, Adriana was guilt tripping her. She was? I believe that Adriana was doing that. I do believe Adriana was sort of like puppeteering the situation. So Julia went from one puppet to another, to 2 puppets. if we're going to be honest. Okay? All right. So then after their fight blows up, then Stephanie has this moment where she wants to do the charity drink that she's doing with Kiki. So they do this whole celebratory thing for Kiki. They come out with little Kiki faces and signs. They also did the they bring out the drink, and they're going to, all the proceeds from this drink is going to go to the Haiti Health Foundation. Fantastic, beautiful moment. Okay. So they have that moment, even when Kiki just wants to make her father proud. I think that is what she has shown us over and over again. She wants her father to be proud of her. She wants him to see what she's doing, and she's always trying to get it. She has daddy issues, clearly. Look, Savannah says, "Listen, I am not judging. I'd probably marry for money too." I'm gonna be honest with you. I know I said I want my billionaire. I'm being facetious. I hope you guys realize that, right? But I'm also not going to kick out the billionaire if the billionaire just shows up at my door. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you're a billionaire? Okay, you have a great personality, you're good looking, and you're a billionaire? Jackpot. So I'm not going to kick you out because you are a billionaire. Okay? Unless you're Jeff Bezos. Okay? Just saying. Or Elon Musk. Ramil says that Kiki can go. Elijah said it's kind of sad though, to be honest. What, Kiki trying to gain the approval of her dad? I can see that. Okay. Guys, we're almost at 300 likes. Keep liking the video. We're talking about the Real Housewives of Miami. This is our live recap, but if you're part of the replay crew, be sure to let us know where you're watching from, how you would rate the season, how you would rate this week's episode, and your thoughts on the episode as well. You know what? Pageant Mommy says, Kempire, first marriage is for love. My second, well, I know that's right. So I need to get married for love quickly and then get divorced quickly so I can work on the second one. Oh, Lord. Feline says, great looking, kind, and money. Is that possible? Well, we're all going to create it together, Feline. I think so. Right? Look, right? Jean says, always marry up. I mean, I'm not against marrying up. I feel like everyone should. Why would you marry down? You know what I mean? Like, why would you marry down? Especially if the person doesn't have a good credit. Like, I don't need you to have all the money in the world, but God forbid, I can't work and something happens to me. Are you going to be able to help me pay for bills and things like that? I live in New York. Are you going to be able to help me? You know what? Kel says, what if it's a billionaire with Martina's grouch? No. No, I wouldn't want that. But somehow Julia makes it work. But I feel like Martina lets Julia be Julia. Angel says, Kempire, not the Kardashian marriage plan. Lord. Veronique says that Martina met Julia in France in 2000. Subsequently, she met her at the French Open in 2008. Clout chaser. Tanya says, waiting for the second marriage. All right. So it doesn't end there. Okay. So we get they end of the situation just when I think the episode's over. It's not. Marysol, Kiki brings up that Marysol told her that she gave Adriana the other word for wretched, and they came to agreement. You'll leave me alone for 2 years. Here's the thing. I said this before. Adriana definitely said ratchet. However, in the context that she said it, it didn't make sense to me. So for me, when they said wretched, I was like, okay, that makes a little bit more sense. But in this moment, Marysol says, I had told you to leave me alone for 2 years, but I hear you're saying stuff to Stephanie. Well, they talk more about this during the after show. Okay? And in the after show, Stephanie basically is co-signing with Adriana. She's not co-signing with Marysol. She believes that Marysol is a master manipulator. Even though Larsa's just like, I don't know if I believe that. I feel like she shows you who she is. Girl, there's something with Larsa and the bros. I think they just agreed to kind of get along. Okay. But Marysol says that she heard from Larsa that Stephanie was not Stephanie, that Adriana was telling stuff to Stephanie. But they flash back to that scene. I don't think what Adriana said to Stephanie in that moment, it could be other stuff that's been said off camera, but in that moment that they show us, what Adriana says to Stephanie isn't that bad. Not bad enough for Marysol to be like, oh, I told you to leave me alone. No. When Adriana said ratchet, you saw Guerdy's reaction. And I wouldn't be surprised if Guerdy said to Adriana, no, there are connotations with calling a black woman ratchet. And apparently there was some sort of off-camera conversation between Marysol, I don't know who else was there, and Adriana. And apparently, according to Adriana in her confessional, she says, I described what I was trying to say and refer to Kiki as. And Marysol, this is what Adriana says so like, oh, so you mean this word, wretched. And she was like, yes, that's the word that I meant. And she says that in that moment, Marysol is just like, oh, you owe me for life. You owe me forever. Because behind the scenes, I believe Marysol and probably Alexia were saying, oh, they're going to call you racist for saying that. I believe that. Because remember, we were saying, like, where is she getting racist? We never saw Kiki say that you were racist. Where is this coming from? And I said to you, I feel like someone behind the scenes had put that in her ear, and she was worried. I still hate the way that Adriana did it, though. Don't bring out your one black friend to defend you. I think she should have. I don't think she thought that the fans, for the most part, would be like, I don't think you meant ratchet. Again, it didn't make sense. I agree, Gene, and we talked about this multiple times during this recap. Adriana and that black girl to black girl was just deplorable. I didn't like the way that she handled it. I didn't. Miss Congeniality says, yeah, I'm done with Adriana. The black girl to black girl comment was trash. Well, we'll see at the reunion how she addresses it, because I feel like the way she handled it at the end, the way that she reacted was over the top and unnecessary, which made people believe, like, Adriana, like, thou do not protest too much, because now it's giving that's what you actually meant and you're trying to cover it up. But I also don't trust Marysol. Marysol conveniently was trying to help Adriana, but also Marysol is trying to cover up Adriana's alleged racism. So what does that make Marysol? Just asking. I don't believe that Marysol was trying to help Adriana. I think Marysol was putting that in her back pocket. Samara says, I think people cheer for Adriana because they dislike the bros, but Adriana has always been beyond problematic since day one. No, I think here we can see when Adriana's right and we can see when the bros are wrong. We've talked about that multiple times during this recap, where we feel like Adriana was wrong, literally just now. But anyway, all right, guys, we're almost at 300 likes. Let me see. Do we have anyone backstage that want to call? Oh, yeah, we do. We have a few people backstage that want to call. And if you're a member of the channel or if you are on Twitch, I've dropped the call link for you guys. Live chat, we're almost at 300 likes. I'll drop the call link for you guys in just a second. Reminder, the opinions of the callers do not represent the opinions of myself, TheKempire LLC, or our sponsors. And everything that they say is in their opinion and alleged. And they agree to abide by our guidelines and not to make horrendous, deplorable, disparaging comments. Okay? Patricia says, you can't be the offender and feel offended when you get called out. Moni says, I was honestly looking at Adriana and Marysol sideways in this situation. Yeah, I agree. I think Adriana was trying to not look. I think Adriana was trying not to look racist here. And the comments, her trying to pull out her black friend and that black girl to black girl stuff. I was like, what is happening here? Like, this is ridiculous. You should have just let it play out. But I get it. She was scared of what the fans were going to say. But you should have let it play out. especially if your true intention was not to be stereotypical. Now people are looking at you like, you're protesting too much in regards to this. Oh, wait, Shar says Alexia and Marysol make the show interesting, in my opinion. Oh, okay. That's a hot take. Pageant Mommy said, I will say that I absolutely believe and have believed that they were racist on this cast, but Adriana was not on the list, but we shall see. Okay. Let me see. Okay. Let's get to some callers because I've been talking for over an hour and 30 minutes. What is going on? Guys, we're almost at 300 likes, so let me drop the call and link for you in the live chat. And I dropped the wrong thing. That's not what I meant to drop. I meant to drop the call in link. Please hold, please hold, please hold live chat. Hold on, y'all. Let me drop the call in link. I love my dog. 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 Gene says that Miami racism is a whole different ballpark. And I know for a fact that at this reunion, it's going to be brushed over because we also can't forget how they handled the whole Guerdy and Julia situation and how no one really looked out for Guerdy in that situation. And I know they're going to breeze over that topic at the reunion because again, Andy Cohen, a moderator, is not going to be able to moderate that conversation. Okay, let's move on. Let's get to our callers that are backstage. Miss Bernice is backstage. Miss Bernice, what did you want to share?
Hello.
Hey.
Hey. Let me turn my TV down. Okay. What up, though, everybody? What up, though? This show, let me get this right. I ain't saying she a gold digger. That's Julia's thing. But I don't see it with no broke. This show, it made me look at Kiki is a pygmisha and she gonna be a pygmisha. She don't until she gets a backbone and can stand on her own 2 feet without the approval of the other people, as in Marisol and Alexia, she's just going to be a pygmisha. Because if you apologize to Adriana about disrespecting her on her birthday cake, and then you give her a backhanded compliment, that means you negated your apology. So you got a whole lot of growing up to do, Kiki. And Marisol's a liar. Duh. And for them to always looking for her validation, she's another Elisa Renner. That's what she is. She always gonna lie to suit her agenda, which is to cause chaos. Long as she have Alexia in her coven and can manipulate all the other ones, she's happy. And until the other ones realize that, that's how it's going to be. They started this season off with attacking Guerdy, and you ended off by attacking Adriana. So you want these two off the show for what? They bring joy to the show. Y'all don't.
All right. Thank you, Miss Bernice, for calling.
That's about it. No problem. I'm sorry. I've been missing the action, but I'd rather look at the AI soaps on YouTube than looking at OC. So that's why you ain't seen me. Okay.
Noted. Thanks, Miss Bernice.
Yeah.
Have a good day.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. Not the AI. PSF says, why did the ratchet or wretched comment get more mentions than what Julia did to Guerdy? Because you see who's behind bringing it back up at the end of the season. Just when, remember, Kiki and Adriana had a conversation, so that should have been a dead issue. But you saw who brought it back up. And you notice how they breezed over the whole what happened to Guerdy, and they still are trying to downplay it. Isabella says the same thing. Incredibly egregious watching all the menial drama while these women pretend Guerdy wasn't assaulted viciously. So, all right, let's get to some more callers. Janelle's backstage. We're going to bring Janelle up next. Janelle, what do you want to share?
Bonjour, Kempire. How are you, darling?
Oh, how are you?
I am good. All right, I'm going to get right to it.
Mm-hmm.
I cringed last week when Adriana brought her black friend. I was like, oh, please, no, let's not do black friend. Let's not do black friend. Let's not do black friend. But the moment she appeared on camera, I already knew why she was there. And that was like, oh, we're about to do this. Okay. All right, buckle up. Let's go. Also, side note, before I continue, I'll agree with Miss Bernice. I mean, I'm not watching the AI soaps, but I just watch your recaps of OC because I'm tired of Naked Wasted. Anyway, my whole thing about this cast is, and like, I'm from Florida, though I am not from Miami. However, part of my family is from Miami, and I have a really good friend like who grew up in like the upper middle class neighborhoods in Miami. People do not understand the colorism in Miami. It's real. That proximity to whiteness is, it is wild. And the thing is like, even though that this is a majority Hispanic cast, like that colorism within the community is like bananas. And so like, I'm not surprised by the behavior. I'm saddened by it, but I'm not surprised by it. And Julia can go because we knew she was an opportunist the moment she landed on screen. Okay. Oh, I sat behind Meghan Markle and Kate Middleton. Okay, but did you say hi? Okay, that's it. Okay, bye.
Thanks, Janelle. All right, let's bring up Miss Congeniality next. Miss Congeniality, what did you want to share about the Real Housewives of Miami?
Hi, Kempire. Hi, everyone. Happy Friday.
You too.
Thank you. So to piggyback off of what's been said, the water toss, I want to bring that up again too, because I feel like what happened to Guerdy, if it were to obviously have happened to anyone else, it would be one of those seasons where it was the whole season. It would have been talked about the whole time. And my heartstrings pull for Guerdy because I literally know what she's going through with like this overexcitedness that she has with her friends, but she has this loving home at home, so she is getting filled at home with the family that she has, but like it's so cringy watching her. She's not getting like the apology that she deserves. And I even saw Alexia on Nick Vial yesterday, and it's just upsetting. Like you've mentioned before, Kempire, how Alexia has been like on an apology tour for not really seeing that. But on Nick Vial last night, she was like sticking up for Julia again. And it's just really upsetting because she just is bypassing what happened to Guerdy again. And it just sickens me, especially with the state of where our country is today. It's just like, when is this going to go away? When are we going to really see people stand up for Black women?
And she probably feels emboldened now because of what's going on in our country today.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Yeah, a lot of that. And then the black friend thing too. I didn't even see that last episode. I saw that only on the replay that they did. And
the replay that they showed actually showed more, that whole black girl to black girl thing. That wasn't in last week's episode.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, what? Oh, no. Adriana can now go. She's so nutty. She can go.
Thanks, Miss Conceitability. Sorry.
Miss Congeniality.
Oh,
the play on words that I made such a long time ago. Sorry, it's like confusing.
No, it's okay. Thank you so much for calling in.
Bye.
Bye. I still got it wrong. Damn it. All right, Arjun is backstage. We're going to bring Arjun up next. Arjun, what did you want to share about Real Housewives of Miami?
I just want to say one thing, Kempire. I don't know if they've mentioned this before, but if I had a friend or a coworker that had cancer, I will, every time I see them, I will ask, how are you doing? I will show them empathy. I will ask, how's your family doing? How's the kids are doing with it?
Yeah.
And I don't know if they did that earlier in the season, but like throughout the season, I don't see it. I just don't see them appreciating Guerdy. Like, I've never been a fan of Guerdy, but this season, I'm on Guerdy. So I see how funny she is. Like, Guerdy needs like people that love her around her. She needs a cast that's gonna be there for her. And I don't see that here.
Yeah.
And the only thing I said, good, he just needs to work on the fashion. That's it.
Especially this season. Like the fashion took a
Yeah.
little costumey this season.
Yeah, but you know what I'm gonna say about the reunion? I liked I liked it in the whole set. It made sense why they were wearing all
Yeah,
colors,
it was very
vibrant
bright.
colors, and then, yeah. But overall, this season, I don't like Miami. I'm not. This is not my favorite housewife show. I
Okay.
don't take them seriously. I feel like the personalities are not there.
Oh.
Like these people are not known. They
Oh.
need some famous people, like interesting people. Like the only person that's interesting is Larsa. Like that's the only housewife I know her before the housewives because of Kardashians. Like Larsa is that girl. But apart
Oh.
from that,
Okay,
I'm a
Arjun.
Larsa fan. I'm a Larsa fan.
Oh, okay. Thanks,
Yeah.
Arjun, for calling in.
Also, can I ask you something about butter?
Uh-huh.
So I won the voucher, the gift card because I used my. I don't know if I use my government name, so I don't know if you'll be able to tell. But basically, is there any validity to the card? Is that it's gonna expire, or no?
I have no idea. Email the person that emailed it to you. Email them back and ask because I have no idea.
Okay, okay, I'll email them. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Arjun. Bye. Oh, I didn't know Arjun won. Excuse me, Arjun. Okay. Elijah's backstage. We're gonna bring Elijah up next. Elijah, what did you want to share about Real Housewives of Miami?
Hey, Kempire, how are you?
How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I want to say a couple things. I like the finale, but I know obviously I don't agree with everything Adriana does, but to me, I feel like when you have a favorite, you're not gonna agree with everything they do. So I don't agree with how she handled the situation with Kiki. But
Yeah.
when it comes to Julia, I don't see any part of what Julia is saying because to me, you
Mm.
tell me I'm not fun anymore. Well, I was fun when you needed a letter for your adoption.
Oh.
I was fun when you needed a letter. So to me, I feel like I don't see. To me, it's an excuse for her to be in with the bros. Because if I'm fun when you need a letter, but I'm not fun now, so then was I ever fun to you? You know what I'm saying? And I feel like she
Mm.
don't bring anything. And to me, Adriana is right. She's on that show because of her. Adriana brings a lot. Julia brings goats, okay, in the grouch. And so she brings nothing. And so to me, she can't really be talking. And so then and then Kiki, I feel like it's giving Shamia. It's giving Shamia with Portia. And she's so far up there. Her and Julia are basically like babies inside of their womb because of how far they are up there. It's insane. You know what I mean? And to me, I think Julia needs to go. And I think that Adriana, I think that she needs to take it easy with the drinks. She does because I think that when she gets tipsy, she starts saying a lot of nothing, and it's not good. And she was playing up in those people's faces with that song, but that's why I love her. You know what I'm saying?
Mm. Thanks, Elijah. Oh my gosh. Okay. April's backstage. We'll bring April up next. April, what did you want to share about the season finale of The Real Housewives of Miami?
Hi, good afternoon, Kempire and
Hey.
everyone in the chat. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. I had to go through HE double hockey sticks to call in, but it's okay. So I feel like between Heather, Shamia, and Kiki, they all put the letters in lapdogs.
Mm.
Like Cardi B might as well have released a song including them too, because that's the behavior that is giving B a Labrador. That's exactly what it's doing. And if you peeped, when Adriana walked away, Julia followed behind her and got in her face and puffed up her chest
Mm.
just like she did to Guerdy. And I was like, listen here, you 6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot, back up. You need to give me some space. And I do agree with the last caller. I do think she needs to take a step back from like the drinks because then she tends to get like lost in her words sometimes and her emotions get
Mm.
heightened.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, I understand what she's saying because if it wasn't for me, you wouldn't be here. And we do have friends that can do the most, but it's like, why didn't you share that until now? Because it looks highly suspect for you to do that. Like, what? Enjoy the rest of your day, Kempire.
Thank you so much, April, for calling in.
All right. Bye-bye.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about Adriana and her response to Marysol in that moment when Marysol brings up like, "Oh, I gave you the word wretched versus ratchet," because then instead of her saying what she said in her confessional where she was sober, she was sort of she attacked her. She's like, "Oh, you look like you're going to a funeral," and she's like, "You're looking like you're an ice skater." So they had their little back and forth, and it didn't land. It didn't land in that moment, but it definitely landed when she explained what happened during her confessional. All right. Let me bring up Angel next. Angel, you'll be our last caller. Angel, what did you want to share about Real Housewives of Miami?
Hey, Kempire. Sorry, I had to run away from my computer. So, I think the season was pretty decent. Overall, I'll give it about a 9. I was on Julia's neck all season and I'm not getting off of it even past the reunion. She needs to be gone. And whatever stylist had her appropriating her hairstyles to try to fit in with her kids was looking crazy. The braids were looking crazy. The twists were looking crazy. Like, we're not here for it at all. So, but, what was I going to say? Oh, Marisol, definitely not okay. She needs to go. She is so disturbingly vindictive at this point that it's, like I said last time, a danger to society. Like, she's like bordering that line of Phaedroness where she knows exactly what she can do not to get caught. And that's a dangerous situation for any of the housewives to be in. So she's not a housewife. So let's just cut our losses, get rid of her, and someone who has a lot more positive energy. And then thirdly, I would get rid of Larsa at this point and just bring her in as a friend of, because she's not really adding anything to the cast at this point.
Yeah, because
And that's it.
what was her personal story this season? Her home?
Nothing until the end of the season. She's dating another young NBA player. So we've seen that, been there, done that.
Thank you, Angel, for calling in.
No problem, kids. Have a good weekend.
You too. Speaking of which, we didn't talk about, at the end of the episode, they do all the updates, and they always include the friend ofs. The other housewife shows, they don't include the friend ofs. Again, this sets a different standard for Real Housewives of Miami. Angel just updated you on what's going on with Larsa. We see her still finishing up her home. She's dating that new NBA player who says that he would like to have kids. Okay. Then we have Marysol still married to Steve, but we have that scene with her and Alexia. Alexia is officially divorced, and she was dating Todd, and then they broke up. So Marysol is very concerned on, I've said so many things about Todd. If you get back with him, where would that leave me? And Alexia's like, you'll always be in my life. You were there for me. I definitely believe that they have a friendship, but I also think there's an alliance as well with that friendship in a lot of ways. The other update, Stephanie is so unlikable. I'm sorry, Stephanie. In a lot of ways, Stephanie's unlikable. I think she was a good fit, though. And they even say this in the after show. Alexia and Marysol, they say that, if they were to bring any new cast members, which I also thought was interesting, Alexia saying that, because maybe Alexia knows what I know in regards to who they're considering bringing to Miami. But she says, anyone that comes to our show needs to be from Miami. And they said that's why Stephanie was such a good fit to the show, is because she's from Miami. She's born and raised there. And I agree with that in a lot of ways. The other thing in regards to Stephanie, she said in a scene with Masood that, her dream would be to speak with one of her sisters. She's like, they're identical twins, so one is good enough. This is where you become so unlikable. Like, really? So apparently the update was that she has garnered a relationship with one of her twin sisters, but not with the other yet. All right. Kiki's still working on a relationship with her dad. Guerdy is still going to solo therapy. Julia, what was the update with Julia? Who cares? We don't need an update. We don't care. Lisa has her new app. I think that app is all Jody's idea, to be honest with you. And he's just letting her be the face of it because she just got a divorce. You saw her app. Alexia got her divorce. Adriana's got a new single. They didn't say it, but we'll tell you. She's got a new single. I love my dog. She's got a new single out. Marysol still married to that man and still did not get a mojito this season. DJ said in the chat, Adriana gets so sloppy when she drinks, it makes it so that everyone can invalidate her points, even when she makes good ones. I agree. Because you saw in the confessional where she doesn't seem inebriated. She had valid points, and she remembered the story, and what her story in regards to what went down between her and Marysol made complete sense. But we shall see. We shall see what happens. I know you're already seeing probably lots of rumors of casting changes and things like that. I haven't heard anything solid in regards to anyone being fired or hired for next season. one thing, bravo, just don't take as long as you did to give us this season for the next season. They took forever for this season. But it actually kind of worked out perfect because we're celebrating Christmas, and we're about to celebrate Christmas here for 2025. But okay. Pageant Mommy says, of course, it is Jody's. Lisa is clueless. DJ says, after the season, I see why the sisters don't want to talk to Stephanie. She's like a gnat. Damn, DJ. Okay. All right. I appreciate you all being here. Thank you to everyone that sent in a super chat. Thank you to everyone that liked the video. If you haven't liked it already, be sure to like it. If you're watching replay, be sure to like the video. It's easy. It's free. It's a way of supporting the channel. You can also hear our live recap on the Kempire podcast while you're there. Don't forget to give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. And don't forget, new Kempire merch is now available. I forgot to bring some of the merch in here today. Be sure to head on over to houseofkempire.com. That's HAUS of Kempire.com. Links will be available in the description. Go get our tour merch, and Are You Okay? Merch is now available. All right. I hope you guys have a fantastic Friday. I probably will do like a casual live later on, guys, and go live and talk about the Tamar of it all. But that won't be until this evening. I got some things to do before then. But I appreciate you all taking time out of your afternoon to be here with me. Thank you all. I love my dog. I love my dog. I love my dog. I love my Furby. I love my Furby. I love my Furby. My Zamomo. All right, I'm done. All right, I'll see you all in the next one, whatever the next one will be. Oh, no, we don't have it. It's not this weekend, but the following weekend, Real Housewives of Potomac premiere. So stay tuned for that. Our Potomac recaps will be returning on Mondays. All right, so I'll see you guys then. Thank you all for being here. Thank you to our King's Guards. Thank you to our channel members. Become a member today at teamkempire.com/join. And of course, thank you to our subscribers and those of you watching in the bushes and everyone that liked the video. Everyone have a fantastic day. Bye, y'all.
Here we go now.